Full-time RVing is an awesome way to start traveling full-time, really mix things up with your life, and see the beauty all across the country. However, a lot of people's hang-ups and fears that want to become a full-time RVer is how can you afford to do it? And the main problem with how you can afford full-time RVing is how to earn a living while you're traveling on the road. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a number of ways that you can earn money, earn a living while traveling as a full-time RVer. I'll start with what are probably the two most popular ways of earning money while traveling as a full-time RVer, and the first is work camping. Work camping is pretty much any job that will offer you a site, typically with full hookups, for free, and then many times will pay a wage on top of that. Popular places to find work camping jobs are near or inside of national parks. We have some friends that have worked a work camping job inside a candy store at Yellowstone. They were offered full hookups, and then I believe they also made $12 or $15 an hour on top of that, and these were full-time gigs. And what was great about that is they were able to make pretty decent money as a couple working these jobs, and then they also had a site inside of Yellowstone, so in their free time they were able to explore the national park. And you know, that sounds great. Isn't that kind of what full-time RVing is all about? If you're able to earn a living wage and then also be able to explore national parks on top of that, this sounds great. And then we have some friends that have worked many different work camping positions across the country. One of them was even as, I believe it was a gate watcher for an oil field. So all they would do is when people would drive up, they would just make sure that they were cleared to enter and, you know, check them in. And then when they would leave, they would check them out. And yeah, so that's not at a national park or forest or attraction or anything. They were just gate checkers for an oil field, and they were able to stay on the site for free as well. And then the other super popular way to make money is by camp hosting. Now, typically from what we found, camp hosting jobs don't pay on top of the full hookup site that they offer. Many times it's just the site, which can save you a lot of money if you're jumping around traveling, and camp hosting, you get the free site for free. So you can save $30 or more a day getting that free site. But if you're picky, you can also find a camp hosting site, or a job, I mean, that will pay on top of that. And if you're camp hosting, that basically just means that you're checking people in and out of the campground, making sure that they're paying for their site, they're allowed to be there, you know, they're the ones that made the reservation. And then you're also like answering anyone's questions that they might have about the campground, making sure no one's breaking any of the campground rules. And then a lot of times there's also some custodial position, or, you know, responsibilities that go along with that. Many times you'll have to be cleaning the toilets as well and doing the other sort of custodial jobs around the campground. And I'll post some links in the video description below to some work camping job sites where employers can post job openings for work camping positions across the country. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, then you can go to those websites and try to find a nice, good paying work camping job for you. Another good way to make money on the road, if you are handy or a tradesman of some sort, like an electrician, plumber, etc., is to offer your services mobily. We've seen this a lot of times in places that are full-time RVer hotspots, like in Quartzsite, where there's hundreds of thousands of full-time RVers at a time. There will be people that will just offer their services, and by word of mouth, things will spread, and people will be able to get a hold of them, and they'll take their RV to the person that needs help, and then they will charge to do whatever repairs that are needed. Mobile RV repair is very popular in places like that. And then something else that we have friends that do is they are mobile solar installers onto RVs. They have a website, and they just travel the whole country to the house or RV where the person needs the solar installed onto their RV, and they will stay on that person's property during the duration of the solar install, and this is how they earn their living. It's pretty cool. If you're looking to become a full-time RVer, you're also going to need a good way to find campgrounds. And for that, I recommend to you the best campground finding app that Ro and I know of. It's called the DYRT. The DYRT is the best campsite finding website and smartphone app we've ever used. However you camp, in a tent, trailer, RV, or cabin, the DYRT makes finding accommodations easy. And with over 1 million listings, you're sure to find the perfect campsite. The DYRT website and app are free to use. However, they have an extremely affordable Pro membership available for only $3 per month. Pro has many indispensable features for travelers like us, such as offline access and downloadable maps so you can search for campsites anywhere, map overlays for BLM land, national forests, and national parks so there's no questioning what land you're on, and a trip planner so you can see all the campgrounds and fuel stops along your route. A Pro membership will also get you up to 40% off at hundreds of campgrounds across the country and up to 30% off camping gear made by many major brands. And if you go through the link in the video description below and use promo code FATE, you'll receive a free 90-day membership to the DYRT Pro. Unlock better camping with exclusive features and savings with the DYRT Pro. Across the country at different times of the year, different types of businesses that have cyclical business cycles where they have periods that are very busy and then periods that are very slow will need a big influx of employees to cover the times where they are very busy. And, they call this seasonal work. And so if you want to travel around the country and fill those seasonal positions when they become needed by these different businesses, then you can work throughout the year by just jumping from seasonal business or seasonal work to seasonal work. And it's just off the top of my head, I can think of a couple. There is, pretty much in all retail establishments, they will need new employees around, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas, other holidays where there is a lot more retail traffic. And then another one I can think of is down south in Yuma, Arizona. I forget what time of year it is, but during the various harvests, there's a lot of agriculture down there. So during different harvests, they will need a lot more people to come in and help with those harvests. And we've actually heard of many people that have worked those harvests and have actually really enjoyed it because, you're working with like heavy machinery and stuff and, who doesn't like to do that? So this one will take a little bit of work to determine like what areas and what businesses need seasonal work, but I'm sure with just some Google searching around like whatever part of the country you're going to that you're going to be in for a various amount of time, you can search for instance seasonal work in Denver, and Denver, Colorado, and I'm sure you'll be able to find something in that area where there's a major business that will need some seasonal work at the time you're going to be there. Another great way to earn money while traveling is through temporary positions. And that's different than seasonal work because seasonal work is cyclical. Like the same businesses will need an influx of new employees at the same time every year. A temp job, however, is when a business will have a certain project that is going to begin and end at a set time, and they just need new employees to come in to help finish that project. And, there's no cyclicalness to it. Cyclicalness, if that's a word, whatever. And it can be really for any type of position. And what you will do to get a temporary job is contact a temp agency. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of temp agencies before. And so if you're going to be in a part of the country for, let's just say 6 months, I'll throw that number out. You're going to be in a part of the country for a decent amount of time. You can contact a local temp agency in the part of the country you're going to be in and, give them your resume and they will search for people that need temporary employees to fill various positions. What's great about temp agencies is they do the work for you in finding a job to place you. But the downside is that the temp agency will get a little bit of the cut of your pay for that, for the like kind of finder's fee. And I'm pretty sure that things like health coverage and other benefits aren't as good as the benefits that a full-time employee would get in a similar position to whatever job you're going to be doing temporarily. But that's sort of the price you pay for having the flexibility that is a temp job, and then also having the temp agency find those jobs for you. But another good thing about working temporary jobs is that if you have skills right now in whatever career that you are working in, then there is probably a decent chance that you can find temporary work doing what you currently do. And so if you enjoy your current career and you want to work at different businesses temporarily as you travel around as a full-time RVer, then there are a lot of professional temporary positions available, and you can probably find one similar to what you're doing now. The number of remote jobs available has exploded since the pandemic. Before the pandemic, it was actually really hard to find a remote position, but now it's easier than ever. When Ro and I first hit the road back in 2017, it was really, really hard to get her current employer at the time to allow her to take her position remotely. There was just a pretty big battle between her and her employer, and what it really came down to is her, finally putting her resignation in and letting them know that she was leaving the company because we were going to hit the road full time, and they really didn't want to lose her. And so they finally begrudgingly accepted to allow her to take her position remote. But now, a quick search on any job website like ZipRecruiter or Indeed, if you just search remote, then it just comes up with a ton of different remote positions because of the pandemic. And so there's a pretty good chance that if you are working some type of office position, that you can take your skills remotely and you can, bring it up to your employer to potentially make your position remote. Or if your employer won't allow that, then you have the high potential of finding a remote position with another company just searching online. Out of all of the ways to make money on the road, this is probably the most enticing way for a lot of people because they'll be able to stay on their current career path with the skills that they currently have, and they will be able to work a full-time position with benefits and all those good things and keep the same type of pay, the same pay range that they currently have. And so things won't be that big of a radical change as far as how you earn a living. Amazon Camper Force is a popular way for RVers to make some money, and it's sort of the melding of seasonal work and work camping. They will set up just like huge campgrounds near major warehouses throughout the country, and they will need people to come in and help work during some of the busiest times of the year for Amazon, which typically around the holidays, near the end of the year, and they offer full hookup sites typically, or they will have you find your own campground and then they will reimburse you for the site fees. They also offer pretty competitive pay, pretty decent hourly wage, as well as a bonus at the end of the period of time that they want you to work for as an enticement to stay there and work the entire length of time that they want you to. Typically, it's only like 4, maybe 6 months. I'm not exactly sure, but it's a matter of months. And you can get all the details for Amazon Camper Force down in a link in the video description below. Some of the good things about Amazon Camper Force is that you don't need a whole lot of experience. You can just get right into it. If they have openings, they'll give you training at the time. The pay is pretty decent. It's a decent hourly wage. I think it's like $15 to $18 an hour. Don't quote me on that. On their website, you'll be able to find exactly what they pay for the various positions. And yeah, it's for a solid amount of time too through the year. Like I said, 6-ish months, I believe. The downside though is I hear they work you pretty hard. Sometimes you'll be putting in 50, 60 hours a week. But that also might be a good side for you because, that'll pay overtime. You'll get time and a half for anything above 40 hours a week. But I've heard it is a pretty grueling work work. If you've heard anything about working in an Amazon warehouse, it's pretty tough work. But if you're willing to put up with that and earn some quick cash, then it might just be for you. Another way to earn money while on the road is to start an Etsy shop. If you're someone that is very talented in creating, crafts or clothing or decorations or anything like that that you might find on Etsy, if you have some unique talent making a unique item, then you can certainly make money on it with an Etsy shop. We know a couple that, they're full-time RVers and they travel the country and they have a toy hauler, and in the back of the toy hauler they've converted it to a workshop, and they make custom rings. Many times they're wedding bands. They'll have like a wood inset somewhere in them, or they'll have like gems on them that they make themselves. A lot of times they'll be made out of titanium with some sort of like rare type of wood inset in it. And so they've got like a lathe and various other tools and machinery in the back to turn these rings down. And it's really cool. They're very unique. They're made to order. And yeah, that's just really cool that they were able to take their craft on the road. When I first saw their workshop in person, I was like, wow, this is really cool. They just put it all in the back of their toy hauler. And so, yeah, if you're able to make some type of unique item that people really want to buy, then you can totally start an Etsy shop. And then the final way that I have for you on how to make money on the road is to do something with social media. Start a YouTube channel, start an Instagram page, or, maybe even a Twitch channel doing live streams. Ro and I, we have this YouTube channel right here, and she streams on Twitch, and that's how we earn our money on the road, is through those two things. And it doesn't even have to be like a travel or RVing channel. If you have any sort of thing that you want to film, that you have experience in, expertise, or you think you could be entertaining doing, then you can do that with a YouTube channel. And that's exactly what I'm doing with my new channel as well, which is not RVing at all. I've actually started a cooking channel called Flavor Unbound, and I'll go ahead and drop a link in the description below to you guys, and I please ask you to go and subscribe to it. I'm doing a lot of meals that you can cook in a small kitchen that are very easy and quick to make and have very little cleanup, because you guys know I don't even have a dishwasher. But yeah, I'm trying to stick to some dishes that are also easy to make but very, very delicious. So if that sounds interesting to you, please go subscribe to that channel, Flavor Unbound. I hope this video has been helpful to any of you out there that are looking to become a full-time RVer but have been agonizing over how to earn a living on the road. If you guys have any ways of earning money on the road that you know of that I didn't mention in this video, then please let me know in the comments below so that everyone else will see that, and they can also keep that as an option for how to earn a living while traveling. But that's all for this video. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Sweetie girl, you want to say bye? Good girl.